Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, Sunix, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the Grumpy Old Man. They say there is no shame in his game because he's always the same. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
That's me.
That is right. That is you. So before we get into our show today, got to go over housekeeping. As always, if you guys enjoyed the content over here, and even if you don't, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comments, so we can juice the algorithm and get as many people viewing this show as possible. We usually try to have the show go on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got a new computer, setting some stuff up, so ran a little bit late today, but Grumpy's out of the picture.
No, just keep talking, actually.
Okay.
Keep talking.
All right, yeah. So anyway, we usually try to have this show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you do enjoy the content over here, you should go check us out on our other channel, which is the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. We usually host that show every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you enjoy the content over here, go check us out. Isn't that right, Grump? He has left. I don't know what Grumpy's doing.
I've not left. I told you just to keep talking. Can you not carry the podcast for 20 seconds? Is that not possible?
I just did. I went through our spiel.
Well, keep talking. Try
Okay.
to blow my nose over here, but you just can't.
Blow your nose. What are you, sick or something?
Conversation for 10 seconds without losing your mind.
I'm monologuing. There is no conversation.
Well,
anyway.
Syndrome, before you get sucked into a jet exhaust, just to see if you can carry it.
All right. 2 seconds. Anyway, so we have had 3 games since our last show. We had the Flyers and Islanders game, which was played on the 28th. Ended up losing that game in shootout. Then we had the Capitals Islanders game, which was on the 30th, and got obliterated in that one. It's not close at all. 4-1 loss. And then we just had the Tampa Bay Islanders game, which was played yesterday, and we ended up coming away with a 2-1 victory. So out of the last 3 games, had 1 win and then had the loser point in the overtime loss to the Flyers. Not too bad, but could be better.
Well, that's what the Islanders are, right? They're a middle of the road. They're a middle of the road club who win some games that they should lose, aka Tampa. Loses some games they should win.
They should win. Flyers.
And get a little bit of luck. Well, and even the Flyers, that was a lucky 1 point. And then Washington just really good.
Now, let me ask you something, Grumpy. Would you rather have a team that is more consistent where they beat everybody they should beat and lose to the teams that they should lose to? Or would you rather have a team where it's like kind of a crapshoot? You don't know what team you're going to get a team where games they should win, they end up getting killed, or, games they should be losing, they end up pulling magic out of their hat.
I like teams that are good. So that's a struggle for the
Well,
Islanders.
obviously, but no, what I'm saying is, would you rather a more consistent team where night in, night out, you kind of know what the outcome to expect?
Well, why are you watching sports if you're just looking for an outcome you expect? That's what all you people of your generation are. Oh,
I don't know. I feel like if there's a game that you feel your team should win, they should probably win it. That's me.
Well, those are the good teams.
And like, I have a feeling like, games going, and this is for all sports. I feel like fans, they have games going in where they're like, okay, we have no shot to beat this team.
Okay.
I don't know. I would rather a more consistent team than,
They are consistent. They're just a middle of the road average team. This is the way This is the way the Islanders have been for the last number of years.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're not average. I'm just saying, when I mean consistency, I mean win the games you should win, keep the games close against the teams that you should lose to. I mean, you should be winning. You should be winning game. Like, they should have beat the Flyers. I'm sorry, they should have beat them.
They were outplayed by the Flyers, and it wasn't for a too many man on the ice penalty. That penalty that was not called on Kyle Palmieri. Oh, Kyle Palmieri went right on his sword or on his shield. Yeah, he was offsides. We have a clip from Philadelphia telecast. They didn't mention it on the Islanders broadcast, but they certainly did in Philadelphia. They had 6 men on the ice, and they even did a line change with 6 men on the ice, and that's the goal. And that game got turned around on that goal. Absolutely. Yeah, it's an undeserved 1 point for the Islanders.
Yeah, so I don't think this video references the communication from the Philadelphia broadcast. But yeah, we can roll the clip here.
Line. Drysdale back after Palmieri trying to track it down. Big collision. They both go falling.
And yes, we found out Kyle Palmieri, torn ACL, gonna probably miss the remainder of the year.
He's out for the year. Yeah.
Palmieri's hurt. That didn't look good. Palmieri is in a ton of pain back behind the play.
They're going to have to blow it down here. Moving a little better his palms.
He's just stripping away there. Sets up Drouin. Heidemann scores!
Yeah, that's not the one I sent to TJ. That is not the one.
Again, this is just one that I pulled up. I don't have the one.
That's not, once again, that doesn't prove what I want to show. I sent it, and he said he posted it.
He did not.
You said you had it.
No, I said that I could pull up the video of him getting the assist.
Long story short, the Islanders had 6 men on the ice for at least 20 seconds. And they even did a line change with 6 men on the ice. Palmieri is the 6th man, takes the puck, poaches it, and then leads to the goal. And that changed the whole tenor of that game, because the Islanders were not in that game until that period, at that point in time. And everyone knows I absolutely hate the Flyers. But, I mean, how did the officials miss that? Not once, but they did a line change with 6 men on the ice. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then you got the loss to Washington. Washington's good again, right? Last year they were fantastic. I don't know if they won President's Trophy, but if they did, it was awful close if they didn't. But they've rounded into form now. And then go figure, I had a feeling they'd beat Tampa yesterday. Why? Because that's the way the Islanders are. They lose games they should win. They win games they should lose. They were outplayed by Tampa Bay yesterday. Thank you, Ilya Sorokin. And just to comment on the Washington.
Last year it was Winnipeg who won the President's Trophy.
Okay. Washington had the best record in the Eastern Conference, though, most points in the Eastern Conference. And then you look at last night against Washington, Ilya Sorokin makes a bad pass that Tom Wilson picks off that ends up in the back of the net. That's not why the Islanders lost, by the way. You'll hear certain segments of the fan base say, oh, my gosh, Sorokin did this, and that's why they lost. No. They were outplayed by Washington.
They lost 4-1.
Well, there were 2 empty netters at the end, which made it 4-1. And then last night against Tampa, just put 2 points in the Sorokin pile. That's why they won yesterday. They were outplayed by Tampa. Tampa's a better team. Tampa's really good. That's Tampa's first game. I think they'd won 6 or 7 in a row. So where are the Islanders right now? Last week, I think they were I don't know if they were 8th in the playoff spot or if they were 3rd in division or whatever, but now they're on the outside of the playoffs looking in. For me, the NHL needs to do something with the way they give points to games. There's too many teams bunched up within 5 points of one another, the top and bottom of the division.
They're the first team out of the wild card.
Yeah. So
behind Philadelphia.
Right. So they're 6th in the Metro division. And why is that important? Because regardless of where they are in the standings right now, Florida and Tampa and Toronto are going to be in the mix absolutely for playoff spots. I mean, right now, I think Florida is the worst team in the conference. Do you think it's going to stay that way? I don't.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, they have 25 points. They're only 6 points. If you could scroll down the other way a little bit. They're only 6 points out of the final playoff spot. I mean, do I think that Pittsburgh and the Flyers are going to
drop? Yes.
Right. I think at the end of the day, they're probably not going to both be in the running for a playoff spot at the end of the year.
No.
Is it possible they are? Yeah, it's possible, but not probable.
It's not.
Right? You figure
Boston's going to get up there.
Yeah, sure.
No, but Montreal and Florida will absolutely.
I just want you to look at the winning percentage that they're showing. It's like everyone in the whole conference has above a 500 winning percentage
record, which is
okay. That just it's ridiculous, right?
It's not common. No.
But go to the West. I think there's only 4 or 5 teams that are below 500. I mean, if you look, keep going.
Even above 1, 2, 3,
4 teams.
4 teams, yeah.
4 teams have
a below 500 record.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is that?
Not common.
I mean, it's
like everybody's trading games. It's weird.
Okay, no. Here's the thing: you have 32 teams in the league, and only 4 teams have a losing record. How is it possible? It's because we're giving bonus points away. I think what they should. Here's what they do: regulation win, 3 points; overtime win, 2; overtime loss, 1; regulation loss, 0. There's too many teams all bunched up. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that everybody's all bunched up.
Would you rather them go to the 3-1-0 method? Overtime win is 1, win is 3, no loser point, and no points for loss.
That's even better, honestly. I don't like giving people points for losing in overtime. I don't like that.
Because it's considered a loss.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's a loss. You just lost in extra time.
So 3 points for a regulation win, 1 point for an overtime loss, for no overtime win.
Overtime win, and then 0 points
you lose.
You don't get any points.
This way you can get rid of ties.
You'd see a lot more under 500 records for certain.
Right.
For certain.
That's the way it should be.
It's almost like the loser point is kind of carrying teams.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know to me, it's just really, this year is just really prevalent. It's like people just play for overtime.
Yeah. They're just playing for a draw, and then, hey, we can maybe scratch out 2 points, or worst comes worst, we at least get 1. We come away with a point.
Right. Where maybe teams would play a little bit harder, take more chances. If we get to overtime, we lose, we're going to get nothing out of this. But man, if we win in regulation, it's 3 points.
Well, that's the big thing that's more exciting for a viewer too, is when teams take more chances, it opens up play.
Right.
It just makes the game overall better.
Yeah. That'd be my suggestion.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah.
We need to contact Bettman.
Well, I guarantee you they're going, yeah, because they want it nice and close, so everybody's involved. Every team in the league has a shot to make the playoffs. That's what they want. They want parity. They'd love to see every team at 500, and I'm all scrapping it out at the end.
So that way they can sell games as being, oh my gosh,
or
it's a battle for the wild card.
Or they want to they just want to keep all teams involved. It keeps fan bases involved, right?
Yep.
Keeps people going to games.
Eyes on the
People
sets.
spending money in the pro store. Keeps people buying concessions. That's what they want.
Yep. I agree. They want as many people watching as possible for as long as possible, and that's a great way for them to do it.
Yes, I agree.
Keeps the fans invested.
I didn't used to be like that, but I'm just like, this year is just so ridiculous. Honestly, you only have 4 teams out of 32 who have a quote unquote losing winning percentage. I'm sorry. That's not acceptable. I mean, even if you're looking at just wins and losses, just throw out the ties. There's nobody at all in the Eastern Conference who has more wins and losses, and there's only 4 teams in the West. I know I've been ranting about this the last couple of weeks. That's not going to stop.
Yeah, no, 4 teams, four out of 32 teams with a losing record is ridiculous.
Right.
That's nuts.
I mean, Toronto has been terrible, right? Florida's been terrible, and they're only 6 points out of a playoff spot. Florida's going to be better. They have 6.
Same with Toronto. They're going to be up there, and I think Columbus. I think Montreal too. Montreal, I think, is good.
I don't know how good they are. I mean, they're a young team. They start
young teams. Hot. They tend to thrive the longer they play with each other.
Well, the whole thing. Look at how many games in hand they have too. They're playing Winnipeg tonight. I don't know what the score. I think it was 1-1 last time I checked.
I can look it up.
But some of these teams in the Atlantic are going to be better second half of the year. Right now Florida, I believe, has 6 forwards out.
2 and a second.
Okay, so Florida Panthers have 6 of their top 12 forwards out right now. When they get those guys back, they're going to be better.
Oh yeah. When is Kachuk supposed to come back?
I believe the tail end of December.
That's when you're going to see them take off.
Yeah, Barkov's
right before the new year. But yeah, Barkov's out for the year.
Luosterainen is out right now. That's a big loss for them. They're going to be better as the season goes on. They are.
They'll bounce back.
So just to think, Florida's not making the playoffs. And that's why I mentioned last show, where's the team historically at Thanksgiving? You could pretty much pencil in, this team is where they are in positionally for making the playoffs at Thanksgiving. It's usually a good indicator who's going to make the playoffs. This year, that's just not true at all. I mean, because everybody was bunched up within 2 points of one another.
Yep.
It's not like there was any distance. And this has been, like I said, this year's just been crazy for that, in my opinion.
Now, let me ask you a question. Where do you feel, I guess, so far, where you think the Islanders will end up at the end of the year?
I think they have a shot to make the playoffs, maybe 10%.
Okay.
Maybe. And it's all because of Schaefer. Now, here's the thing. If Schaefer hits the wall,
That's
done.
it. That's
They're done. They're done. Because, you look at Emil Henneman shooting like 20-something%. That's not going
to happen long term.
You're seeing.
And he even cooled off for a little bit.
Horvat has cooled off considerably.
Yep.
But you expect that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at what they do historically, and you kind of say, okay, particularly for a guy like Horvat, who's been in the league, 10 plus years, you kind of know what his shooting percentage is.
Yep.
So, he was shooting over 20% for 24% for a while, and he was lighting it up. Now he's kind of cooled off. I don't think he's maybe at 16, but his career-wise, he's like 13 and a half. He's shooting a lot more pucks. I mean, if you're going to shoot 700 pucks on net, put them on net, he's going to have more goals, but still.
Yeah, 13.5% for Bo Horvat's career shooting percentage.
Yeah. I mean, so you look at historically, that's kind of where he is every year, right? He's not at 16 and a half. He's not at 20%. He's at 13 and a half. He's taking a lot more shots. Okay. And I'm not putting down Bo Horvat. I'm just saying, I'm just looking at individually. Look at historically players over time. They usually regress to the norm or progress to the norm.
Yeah.
I mean,
the data shows he won't be staying there throughout the season. It just it doesn't agree with it.
There are some seasons that are discrete events, and what I mean by that is, a career year, so to speak, or really down year. But for the most part, these guys are they stay kind of where they are what they are, right?
Yep.
What Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. You know, I mean, it's just it's just the way it is. And if you look at the Islanders that way, we've been unable to score goals, right?
Yep, that's
kind of
been the
dried up.
struggle.
We were lighting it up, putting pucks in the net at an unbelievable pace the first 20 games.
Yeah, the defense wasn't there, but the offense was, and that was what was winning us some games. But now you're seeing the offense start to tail off. We're starting to lose a lot more.
And right, we've stopped scoring.
Yep.
We're regressing to the norm. I'm not saying we're going to go the rest of the year scoring 1 or 2 goals a game. I mean, I'm not saying that, but there's going to be peaks and valleys when it comes to stuff like that. And right now the Islanders are gullying out, scoring goals. They can't win at home. I mean, as well as, and here's the thing, when I say as well as they played on the road, the results that they've gotten on the road are certainly more impressive than the results they've gotten at home, because they've been outplayed on the road. The most recent road trip is, Exhibit 1A, Exhibit 1, if you will, right? Totally dominated against all those West Coast teams, and they come away with 6 points. Well, coming up, the Islanders have a couple of tough games coming up. They have tomorrow night, I believe they have Colorado.
Correct, at 7.
And then they have Florida.
Nope, they have the Lightning on December 6th at 7, and then they have Florida December 7th at 5.
Oh, those are road games, right?
Sorry. The road game that they have is against Colorado, and then they have
no, Colorado should be a home
sorry,
game.
Colorado's a home game, and then yes, the next 2 are road games. That's
Okay.
My fault.
Are you going to tell me that it's not conceivable they could be 0-3 in those road games? In those next 3 games? They're certainly not as good as Colorado. Colorado's a wagon this year, right?
Yes.
I mean, look at the teams the Islanders have beat this year. They lost to Colorado, but they beat Dallas, who's like phenomenal this year, in a game they didn't deserve to win, honestly. Lucky bounce gives Horvat a goal. Where Romanov got injured, that's another plus for the Islanders.
Addition by subtraction.
Right. And then they beat Tampa, who's really been rolling in the East. Tampa's good.
Do you think they lose to Tampa?
Yeah, I'm going to say they're absolutely going to lose to Tampa the next game. They should have lost last night. Ilya Sorokin won the game. And this is no slam on David Rittich, who I think has been really good in that too. But, I mean, Sorokin stole those 2 points.
Yeah.
So you got to figure that's advantage in goal for Vasilevsky and Tampa Bay. If Rittich plays that game, it's going to be a back-to-back. Yep. Does Rittich play against Florida? Well, Florida's real. Scroll down a little bit for Florida. Florida's been really good at home, but pretty bad on the road, right? 8-6-1 at home, 4-6 on the road. I mean, 12-12-1. And they're scuffling a little bit. If you're going to get Florida, this is the time to get them. Florida plays better at home, though. They absolutely do.
Yeah, earlier when they got injuries, but once those guys come back, that's it.
Right. I mean, are they going to be the Stanley Cup winning Florida Panthers of, the last 2 years? I don't think so. I think the loss of Barkov is
detrimental to the team.
It's really tough to measure because he's the best two-way center in the game. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're winning the cup. And you lose. I mean, these are heart and soul.
That would be a
guys.
three-peat for them if they won.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Now, let me ask you a question. Well, never mind. I'm not going to ask it. Keep going.
They're two heart and soul guys in Barkov and Kachuk. Those are heart and soul guys.
Yeah.
And like I said, they are scuffling right now. So could we beat them on Sunday?
Possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But would it surprise you if they came out 0-3? Wouldn't surprise me. And that's what I mean. That's why the question you ask, well, it would be better if you expect, you beat who you're supposed to and blah, 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 blah. If you say who we're supposed to beat, we don't beat any of the good teams. But this team seems to beat the good teams and lose to bad teams. I mean, they're maddeningly inconsistent. I guess you don't know what you're going to get from them night to night. But that's the way it's been the last number of years for this team. It's not like anything has changed. What's the difference between this year's team and last year's team and 2 years ago's team and 3 years ago's team? Matthew Schaefer is the only difference. And that's kind of where the Islanders are at right now. They're stuck there. I mean, that's all I can say about that.
I was going to say, let me ask you a question. Do you think, with the current injuries to the team, we make a rash decision and try and trade for a player?
Okay. I think you're not hearing really anything coming out of the front office because, unlike Lamoriello, I have to think when Matthew Darsh interviewed for this job, he was honest in what he was saying about the direction of the team. If management just wanted to stay chasing their tail, like Lamoriello was doing every year, trading first-round draft picks, and just scuffling to make the playoffs, they would have kept him there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, I was not there. I do not know. But I would say that, Matthew Darsh had going, okay, this team is a rebuilding team. We're going to need to load up on draft picks. We're going to make moves like he did for picking up Jonathan Drouin. We're going to make small little moves for veterans, but we want to load up on
Draft
talent
picks.
in the draft, right?
Or
we want
young
to get
players.
Younger. We need to get younger. If we're going to make trades, if we're going to move first round draft picks or something like that, we want to get a player who's 24, 25, as opposed to somebody who's 30, whose best days are behind him.
Yep.
Or a guy who's 23 who maybe needs a change of scenery. Roll the dice on somebody like that. I would have no problem with that. What I don't want to see is, the horrible Alexander Romanov, worst player in the league according to analytics, which everyone knows I don't believe in analytics.
But you do in that instance, right?
I do the eyeball test, but if analytics going to prove me right, I think they're the greatest things ever. And he was the worst player in the freaking league. That useless dog Romanov. He wasn't any better the last number of years. He had Noah Dobson bailing him out. Yep, I said it again. And so that's addition by subtraction. Should we go out and get another defense partner for Matthew Schaefer? No.
Unless they're young. Unless they're young and show promise and talent, then I'd be okay with it.
Okay. But guess what?
No teams are getting rid of those guys.
Unless your team is led by an ignoramus as a general manager who would trade somebody like a 25-year-old Devon Taves for a couple of bags of used peanuts, those guys don't come available. Okay? Only an imbecile would make a trade like that. And Lamoriello isn't running another team right now. So that's not going to happen.
Maybe he's running a fantasy team. He can trade us.
I think he'd lose at that too. All he do is pick a bunch of freaking grinders. Well, guess what? We don't score goals. The fantasy team don't score any goals.
Oh God!
It just is what it is. So guys like Devon Taves they certainly don't become available in season.
Yeah,
you're not going to see that. What type of players get moved prior to the deadline for the most part? They're
a problem on the team.
No. There are guys
if
who
there's an issue in the locker room, I'm sure a team would move somebody.
Okay, but they don't cost anything to pick up. Like Tony DeAngelo, right? He was like a freaking pariah to the league. Who wanted him? Only the Islanders. He's playing in the Russian league before the Islanders signed him up. I mean, to me, anyone who wants him can have him for a third-round pick.
Yeah.
His value is diminished. Why is his value diminished? Oh, because he's no longer on Power Play 1 because we got the human highlight reel taken on Power Play 1 back on the back end now in Matthew Schaefer. So that's obviously hurt Tony DeAngelo's appeal on the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, but what type of guys are available when it comes to the trade? What type of guys get traded? You have guys who are on expiring deals, who are older. Right?
Yeah.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Those are not the type of guys the Islanders should be trading draft picks for.
Teams that are trying to free up cap space.
Right. You look at certain teams who are out of the hunt and they're already saying, our guys are available. Vancouver is saying that at this point. Is St. Louis going to say it at some point? Is there anybody on those teams who appeals to you that those teams would be willing to trade? I mean, is Elias Pettersson all of a sudden going to come out and be available on the trade market. Maybe last year you could have gotten him when JT Miller was there and he wasn't getting along, but he's had a bounce back year this year.
Yep.
He's not going to be a guy they're looking to move. What's he, 24, 25? They're not moving him. They're not going to move a guy who's 24, 25 years old. They'll be going to look to move a guy like maybe, well, they did sign Brock Besser, but he's 28, 29. Is he going to want to be moved? I don't even know if he has a no move clause on his contract. X, if you could look that up maybe on Puckopedia to see what his contract status is.
Pedersen's?
Brock Besser.
Okay.
I don't know if he has a no move clause or a no trade clause, but he's a guy who's 28, 29 years old now. Are you going to look to move somebody like that? Who are you going to move? Evander Kane is supposedly available. Who wants Evander Kane? Should the Islanders want Evander Kane? I don't think so. If you're looking to replace a Kyle Palmieri, well, what about Shabanov? He's looked okay. I don't know if he's a first-line guy or a second-line guy, but why not give him a shot? Move Anthony DeClaire up in the lineup.
Unrestricted free agent 2032. He'll be age 35.
Okay. I just don't know if he's a RFA, if he's has a no move clause or a no trade clause. Okay, don't worry about it. He's not getting moved anyway. They just signed him to a big contract extension. He's not getting moved. The guys that are looking to move are guys like Evander Kane and such.
Older,
short-term contracts. Those are the guys who are looking to move. Nobody on long-term deals. So is it impossible for the other guys to move? No, but it's not probable. And what do the Islanders have to offer? Oh, well, we have 2 first-round picks this year. Let's move them for some aged veteran. No. The days of Lou Lamoriello, those are over. And that's why I'm saying I feel that, Matthew Darsh just talking to ownership had to tell him, this is my vision for the team. They weren't talking about winning Stanley Cups at all this year.
Good.
So I'm just hoping, right?
Yes. You're being optimistic on it. Absolutely.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
But realistically, there's no way the Islanders should be in the mix to try to bring anybody in to scrape into the playoffs.
They should do what the Patriots did. We have a project. We have a plan.
Right.
We're not gonna, part the course. We're not gonna go in a different direction because the team's playing well, or we're just squeaking into the playoffs. We're gonna stay the course. We have a vision. We have a plan that we want to stick to. We are looking to make a franchise team.
Good analogy. That's a really good analogy. That New England Patriots this year, they have the best record in the NFL right now. Are they the best team in the NFL? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, they're a playoff team. This is the first game I watched of them all season against the Giants. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. They bought into Mike Vrabel. They hit hard. They're a hard-hitting team on defense, and they have the centerpiece in Drake May. We have Matthew Schaefer. They have a lot of younger players. We have a lot of older players. It takes time to turn a roster over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
4 or 5 years.
They were at the trade deadline. They were asked, well, how come New England Patriots, why didn't you add? You should have added your teams in a window to win a Super Bowl. And Mike Vrabel says, you know what? We have a plan here. So they're not looking at this year as being the team that is, a team to go all in for. They're looking at, we want to have sustained success. How do you do that? You bring players up through your system. You draft players, bring them up through your system. When your older guys age out, you slide in the developing players.
Yep.
It keeps costs down. People know what your system is.
Yep.
I'm not saying you never make trades, but at this where you're giving up future assets for an established player, I'm not saying that at all. But where the New York Islanders are right now, that's not something they should even consider.
Agreed.
Because they're not a team that's going to contend for anything. They're just not. They might contend for a playoff spot. Guess who they play in the first round of the playoffs? Dun, 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 dun. Carolina. Their daddy.
They've had our number for quite a few years. Yep.
Forever.
Yep.
Carolina's good. Carolina.
And before that, it was Tampa who had our number. Yep.
You're going back a decade now.
Yeah, I know.
10 years.
back when Bailey was on the team.
Certain teams just can't beat. Why? Because they're more talented than you are, with better system than you have. I mean, Carolina knows what they're doing. Every year, their cap situation is they're in such a good shape cap wise. They can go out and bring in big name free agents every year and lose them and still be good because of how well they've managed the cap. You don't see them giving contracts to guys like Brett Pesci or Brady Shea. When they were playing for Carolina, they both came up for free agency, and they could have given them 7 or 8 year deals to defensemen who were 29 and 30 years old. They could have done that. They said, see you later.
I just want to put this up here real quick. Matthew says 0-7 all time against Tampa Bay and Carolina in the playoffs. Wow.
They're good.
Wow.
They're good. No, okay. But those are two really good teams, right? They're two really good teams.
Yeah.
You should be wanting to develop your team to
get
play
to that level.
That's right. And right now, they're not close to that.
No.
Could they get lucky? They could. But I mean, if you're going to say, hey, you know what? Let's put it up on our billboard. Hey, this year we might get lucky. I mean, is that what you want to sell to fans? No. You want a team
where you know going in you have a legitimate shot to win the cup every year.
Look at Tampa. 2 years ago, I'm like, man, Tampa's done. They're absolutely toast. They look like they're skating in sand. They still kept their core piece together, and eventually their core piece is going to age out, absolutely. But right now, they're able to rebuild everything underneath the core.
Yep.
Where they're the favorite, them and Carolina, they're the two favorites in the Eastern Conference. I think Tampa's better than Carolina because they have better goaltending.
Yeah.
I mean, if it came down to Tampa and Carolina in the Eastern Conference final, I'm picking Tampa.
Well, Carolina always just can't get it done, too.
Well, Carolina,
they find ways to lose. Always.
They don't have superior goaltending come playoff time.
Yeah.
Freddie Anderson, as good as he is in the regular season and can be in the playoffs, he'll get hurt at some point in time. They signed Kochetkov to a long-term deal. Is he the answer? I don't know. I don't know if he's the answer. Hasn't looked like he's the answer. Sometimes he looks like he is, sometimes not. But those are the type of teams you want to look at how they've built through their organization. Look at. I mean, Carolina knows how to draft. They really know how to draft. They know who to spend money on and who not to spend money on. As I've said on the show over the years, I'm like, I look at Carolina, everything they do in the offseason, I'm like, man, that's a bad move. That's a bad move. And they prove me wrong every single time. So you know what I say? You know what? I'm just assuming what Carolina does is going to be good. They lose Rantanen last year, right? They trade Marty Necas, in essence, to get Rantanen. And Rantanen didn't want to be there. So they move him for Logan Stankoven and draft picks. And wouldn't you know, Stankoven's a perfect fit for the team where Rantanen wasn't. And they get more draft picks. They know what they're doing. The Nishkin kid is defense. Right, we talked about last year, totally had to rebuild their defense core when they lose Shea and
I think Brett Burns was still on the team at that point.
Brett Burns was still on the team. So was Dmitry Orlov. But Brady Shea and who the heck, and Brett Pesci. Oh my gosh, they're going to fall apart on the defensive end. No. They bring in Shane Gotchespierre, who's just, to me, he's a zero defensively. All of a sudden, he can play defense. They bring in Keandre Miller. All of a sudden, and they give him a big, long contract. All of a sudden, he looks like he's an all-star. Carolina knows what they're doing when it comes to defensemen. They turned over the defense court 3 pieces in 1 year. 4 pieces, actually, if you're going to talk about Burns. They turned over 4 pieces in 1 year or a year and a half. That's what a model organization does. They have a plan, and they stick to it.
That's what you have to do. You have to stick to the plan. You cannot divert from it because, something good happened. Let's go all in on this other thing. You have to stay the course. Stay the course. Trust the process.
That's right. And that's the whole thing, right? Matthew Darsh, first-time general manager. I have to believe that if he went into management and says, this is going to be rebuild, we're going to load up with draft picks, which they did, moving Noah Dobson, get 2 extra draft picks. But if was that their initial plan?
No, it was
They
not.
wanted to keep him. They made him a contract offer to stay. But you know what? He did best he could with a pivot. I thought he could have got a better piece than Henneman. Henneman has panned out for them this year. But if you look, by the time everything is said and done, Emil Henneman's not going to be a first-line player. He's not.
No.
That's not a slam on Emil Henneman. He's a very serviceable NHL player. He's a bottom six guy. The only reason he's playing on top six is because he's playing on a team that's bereft of talent in the front. And he hustles. And he's got a pretty good shot.
Here we go. We also got an update here from
Peary Rising says Vancouver has 7 players with the full no move clause. Besser's one of them. So there you go. Besser's not going anywhere. That's a problem, right? No move clauses. Well, you can't move them unless you kiss the player's ass.
Yep.
Or the player's so unhappy that they want to move.
And they'll select the team that they want to go to.
Right. I mean, so that's kind of what we are. So you're looking at, do we want to do anything to replace Romanov? To me, the answer is no. Nope. They've been playing the Mitchell kid in the back right now with Scott Mayfield. You got Pulak is playing with Schaefer, and Pelech is doing the best he can to spackle over Tony DeAngelo's defensive flaws. Pelech's been pretty good this year, right? Again, if you're looking at the deadline, I know I'm looking to move. If you could get a rising star or a rising young talent, like the Flyers got in Trevor Zegras, what'd they give up to get Trevor Zegras? Like a second and a third round pick? That's all they gave up to get Trevor Zegras. I mean, I know he's in a contract year this year. Why not? Why don't the Islanders try a shot like that, or give them a quick a player that they might lock to bring in somebody who's, just struggling a little bit? I don't know. I mean, I don't know where. I'm just baffled, and you see some fans. Oh yeah, let's go out and get this guy. Go out and get this guy. Stop.
Yeah, the Flyers the Flyers traded Ryan Poling, the number 45 pick in the 2025 NHL draft, and a 2026 4th round pick to the Ducks for Zegras.
A second and fourth and a bottom 6 forward.
Yep.
And they got Zegras, who's been really good for them this year. Now they have to re-sign him. But I mean, if you're going to make a move like that, okay, you're not giving anything up, and you're not giving up first round draft picks. You give up a second 1 year and a fourth the year after that, and a bottom 6er to get a guy who it's like a lottery ticket. If he pans out for you, great. You got you got a piece that you can build around going forward. If he flames out, okay, we lost a second, a fourth, and a guy who we weren't counting on is going forward. If the Islanders are looking to do anything, of course, it should be move players as the deadline approaches. To me, the first 2 that need to go, Pajot and Lee. Why? Because their contracts are expiring at the end of this year. I don't want to hear any nonsense. Oh, well, let's
re-sign them.
Sign Anders Lee back for a 3-year. Why? What has Anders Lee done this year? Has he done anything this year? No. He's 35, going to be 36.
You know what we need to do? No problem. You want to sign back here? We'll sign you on a 1-day contract for you to retire as an Islander.
There you go.
That's how you get around it.
It's like, why would you ever consider signing any of those guys in their mid-30s back to deals for this team? The team is loaded with the core guys who've been here forever. You don't need to keep on re-signing them.
The core is not working.
Well, the core is over. The core is done. It's rotting.
And it didn't work.
Well, it never worked because they never won anything.
Exactly. Well, that's my point. The core didn't work. It's not working now. There's no need to keep signing them back. You're going to sign the same players back and expect different results than what's happening, but you're going to get the same.
That's a definition of insanity, right?
Exactly. That is the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Yep.
Sorry. Got to move on. We got the lucky lottery pick in Matthew Schaefer.
Absolutely. He is the Islanders' symbol of hope currently.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely is.
He's doing things that have never been done before in the league. That's how good he is. Yeah. What happens when Matthew Schaefer hits the wall, or God forbid he gets injured?
Oh God, don't even speak.
Where does the team go from there? Again, it's not even what he does offensively.
We go to the Florida Panthers' current position.
Well, yeah, okay, worse in the conference.
Yes.
Okay, but it's not even things he does offensively. It's the things he does on defense. Does he get exposed occasionally? Does he make a mistake occasionally? Yeah, just like every player in the league. He's 18. He's 18. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I know you don't want to talk about his offensive production, Grumpy, but take a look at here. It says Matthew Schaefer becomes the first teenage defenseman in NHL history to score 8 goals through his first 25 career games. That's pretty good offensively.
Okay, is he going to have 25 goals this year? No, he's not. I mean, because he's on pace for that, right?
He's on pace for 26.
Okay, but he's not. That's probably not going to happen, right?
Odds are yes, probably not going to happen, but still, he's on pace for 26.
Right.
I'm just saying, okay, he's breaking records.
And I'm not
right?
minimizing, and anyone who's listened to this show over the last month or so,
we absolutely glaze him. It's not even funny.
Absolutely. But, to say that I'm expecting him to score 25 goals and have 60 plus points in his rookie year, I don't see it. I'm sorry.
We would love to see it.
I feel like, look at how many minutes he's playing tonight. 25, 26, 27, 28 minutes. Eventually you're going to hit a wall. Why? Not because he's not talented, but because he's never done it before. The last thing you want to do is just destroy him.
Run him into the ground.
Right. I feel, I don't know what I'm thinking now. A week or so ago, I'm like, how does he not make the Olympic team for Canada as a bottom pairing defense?
Now you're worried about him making the Olympic team.
I'm worried about him not making it because I think coaches like to go with the veterans.
Yeah.
Particularly in big tournaments like that. They're not thinking, oh, well, hey, this kid's been great, but you know what? Joe Montadot's over here. He's been playing. He's a grizzled veteran for 15 years. He's been through these battles. They can't think past that mindset.
And here, Freedom Fund Adventure had a comment that was actually discussing that with opinions on allowing Schaefer to play in the Olympics if selected. He said, previously I said yes, but arena might be not finished, and now we discover it's 3 short. Is Empire State Construction building it? LOL. Okay. But yeah, he's talking about. He was talking about his opinion on like wanting Schaefer to join Team Canada for the Olympics. Like, do you feel? Would you want him to play in the Olympics or not? With for sake of injury, though.
I don't care about injury.
Okay.
I say absolutely yes. Why? You say
exposure.
Why? Get playing with those players who are the best in the world. Maybe pick some things up because they're going to help him.
Yeah.
They love talking to the young kids, and he's everything about this young man. He's a sponge for knowledge. He's asking, hey, can you do? And they want to help.
Yeah.
They want to help. They are particularly guys like Sydney. I'm going to stop calling him Cindy Crosby because he's earned my respect this year. He absolutely has.
He's been playing well.
He's playing well. I got him on my fantasy team. He's putting up a lot of points. So, but he's being less of a crybaby the last couple of years, honestly. So I'm going to give him
earlier in his career, though, he absolutely was a flopper.
That's how you get a name like Cindy Crosby. Yep. Okay, but he's not been like that the last number of years, and certainly not this year. You don't think he could benefit playing with Crosby, or learn something from Connor McDavid, or learn something from name any of the other defensemen who are going to be on the team? I mean, it's beneficial to him and to the Islanders in the long run. That's all I care about.
I guess the only thing I worry about is injury.
Well, you get injured anyway. You get injured walking down the street.
That's true. Okay, I guess your odds of getting injured are higher, playing in a hockey game than walking.
Yeah, that's true. But the benefits outweigh the negative aspects that could come from it.
Okay.
I mean, I just think that's fair to say. I want to expose. It's just like
I think some teams might say that. I guess with the current state of where the Islanders are, if he got hurt and couldn't come back next year, it's no harm, no foul. We're still in rebuild mode. It's not like we're a cup contender where it's like holy crap, we need him on the team. It's not like we're in that situation. So if he got hurt, it would be like, okay, well, he's just missing. He's missing some time next year. It's going to be the same, repeat of last year. Hopefully we can get some more picks. Hopefully we can get, younger talent, but still need to, hopefully we can develop some other players for the upcoming years. But I mean, I don't know. I feel the one thing you wouldn't want is him to have a really serious injury though. And the more games that you play, the more chance, the higher the odds are for that to happen.
I mean, you get hurt in a regulation game too. What does it matter? There's no. I mean, it's not like You would only be concerning yourself about this year.
I'm just saying there have been in other sports, there have absolutely been players who have gotten injured, been out for the season, and then that absolutely killed a team's entire season because they lost one of their better
but
players.
the Islanders aren't going anywhere this year. So
but that's what I was saying though. I could see this year, but I was thinking more so going towards the future when your team is a contender. I don't know.
I mean, unless he loses his leg due to amputation, he's going to be fine, right?
God.
I mean, you can't.
I would say if the team was in a different situation, I think you'd be speaking a little differently about it. That's all.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. All I know is if this kid gets an opportunity to play, so maybe we shouldn't send Bo Horvat either if he gets invited.
Well,
right?
No, we're not in. I was saying we're not in contention currently to win a cup, so I would say send them all. But
okay,
I was saying if we're in cup contention, you kind of worry about that though. You lose a guy for the season, he could kill your run.
Okay, it means nothing. It means nothing at this point in time. Nothing. It's just
right now. Yeah, right now I agree.
What
right now I
agree. About? Oh, I'm only
talking about the future, Grumpy. I'm talking about the future. I'm looking towards the
4
future.
Years from now. So 4 years from now, when he's like
4 years from now, I do not want Schaefer playing in the Olympics.
When he's like the best defenseman in the league 4 years from now,
correct.
And you say, well, you know what? Our team's pretty good. He shouldn't go because
he should sit out. I want him sitting out. Well, now I'll say, I'm not going to bring it up, but I'll say in other sports, you absolutely complain when people get hurt when they play for their international team. You absolutely complain about that. So I'll just say I think it depends on the situation.
Okay,
currently, yes, I'm fine with that, but
you're talking about World Cups, World Soccer. But here's the thing:
correct.
They're playing on their team all year long on their national team. This is like a 2-week period of time. You're talking about at maximum 7 games. Is what you're talking about. It's not
Didn't
like
Chuck get hurt in those 7 games.
He got hurt in the Four Nations Cup.
Yeah, the 4 Nations, but international. So I mean,
he played.
Look at how well the Panthers are doing.
He played.
He played for Ottawa.
No, that was Brady Tkachuk plays for Ottawa.
Oh, okay, that's right.
But Matthew Tkachuk got hurt, but he played all through the playoffs for Florida. Was he the same guy? No, he was absolutely hurt. And he missed until the playoffs. I know I traded for him, and I took a risk, figuring he'd come back. I gave up some players I wanted to keep, and he didn't get to play for me. So I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, when he came back for the playoffs, was he the same guy? No, but he had the surgery, this off season or beginning of the season, and he'll be back, 100% healthy. He'll be again, guarantee you, he'll be playing in the Olympics.
No, I think he will too.
Okay.
I'm just, you always worry about that risk injury though.
That's John Tavares got hurt 1 year for the Islanders when he went to the Olympics. There's a chance you're going to get hurt anytime you play in a game. Anytime. Yeah. Kyle Palmieri injured. Islanders score a goal that gets him a point with 7 men on the ice doing line changes. They got half the team on the ice, and the officials, I don't know where they were.
Here, Grumpy, read this one. This is a follow up.
Okay, and then I'm going to do the ad read right after this comment. Freedom Fund Adventure says Grumpy wasn't listening at all when X read my comment because it was jumbled up. The arena may not be finished on time. It's a rush job. We found out today it's 3 feet short, and everyone is surprised. Chances are ice boards suck. The arena increases chances to be injured. Correct. I wouldn't allow any assets, Schaefer or Horvat, blow out his knee this year, and we are ruined.
I don't think this year we really have a chance. So I would be, if heaven forbid something happened, it wouldn't be as detrimental. Now I'm saying if we were on, if it was a different year, 4 or 5 years from now, we're, a serious cup contender, then yeah, I'd be worried.
So what Freedom is saying at the stadium itself is 3 feet too short?
The ice surface, yes, 3 feet too short.
How the hell? It's supposed to be right. It's supposed to be 200 by what? 120?
I guess it ain't.
Well,
I'll look and see if I can find something on Twitter about it.
Okay. I don't know that. Well, then anytime he takes the ice he should play just for the international team and not play for the Islanders then with that type of logic. All right. I do want to jump into the ad read here, X, if you could.
No problem.
If you could just jot down the times for me.
Gotcha.
DraftKings pick 6 intro. Here we go. Turkey touchdowns and takes. It's Thanksgiving, and the action doesn't stop at the dinner table. Feast on some winnings this holiday with Pick 6, DraftKings' newest fantasy pick'em game. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. It's that simple. Pick 6 brings you the upside those other pick'em sites can't touch. The better you perform, the bigger your payout. And it's available in most states, including Texas, California, Georgia, and more. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. New DraftKings customers can play just $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. So that's our Pick 6 ad. And now, X, if you could document the time on this next one here, please.
Yep.
DraftKings, Spinoramas, Michigan goals, a sprawling save across the crease. Live and breathe all the highlight moments with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dckng.com/audio. Limited time offer. So if you want to bet, use DraftKings, and that's you can do much, much worse than that. So X, we want to start hitting some of those comments, don't we?
Yeah, let's just put this up real quick. I got something on the rink issues. It says the Olympic Ice Arena in Milan is still yet to be completed, and now it's been shared that the ice will be smaller than an NHL rink. Let's roll this real quick.
We're hearing rumblings that this arena that is supposed to host the Olympics in Milan is not only not on track, but some really concerning updates have emanated from Milan in the last few days. First off, the Milan organizing committee saying that there is no plan B, that there's no other place to host these games, that they're not looking to, move the game somewhere else. And that part has certainly raised a red flag, because I know the NHL has done their best to stay out of it, knowing that this is an IOC controlled event. And two, that not only may the arena not be finished, and as recently as Halloween, there was no roof on the building, which is alarming, but that Pete DeBoer, part of the Team Canada coaching staff, shared earlier this week that the arena in Milan may be smaller. So we knew that it wasn't going to be Olympic size, but it was supposed to be built to NHL standards. Now, apparently, the rink that's being constructed is going to be even smaller than NHL standards by 3 or 4 feet. And it might not sound like much, but for a rink that's already feels like it's jammed with some huge bodies on a night-to-night basis, if you're not to now make it 195 by 85, just for theoretical sake, or even if it's on the width side, it's even worse. It drastically changes the game, and I think might even in some ways benefit a U.S. team that has been built on size and brawn and ability to check. That might make this a really interesting conversation for the roster construction part of it.
Okay.
Alarming.
What does it say to you, X?
NHL players shouldn't be playing there.
NHL players shouldn't be playing there.
If the rink's not the regulation size, yeah.
I'm just kind of baffled that there's no plan B.
I mean,
Anything where you don't know if something's going to get built. I mean, I don't want to make this an Olympics thing, but it seems like a lot of time. It's why you don't hold the Olympics in some of these countries. I don't care what type of, how much money they slide.
Absolutely could have a plan B. They could just play in a Northern European country that have facilities already built.
I don't care how much money you slide under the table to the International Olympic Organization.
Bribery, yes.
Where, hey, give us here and you get this. If you can't build, if you don't have the infrastructure in place, it's not like they hand these contracts out. Not like they don't give them these Olympic sites. They give them like 10 years in advance.
Well, you know what ends up happening with the sites, correct?
What do you mean?
Majority of the Olympics, whenever they build these, these stadiums or these arenas, they use them for the Olympics and then they don't get touched again and they erode.
Okay. But the whole thing is you have 10 years to build this stadium and it's coming down to crunch time where the tournament is in 6 months and your stadium isn't built. You know it ahead of time. I mean, that's why, honestly, where should you hold the Olympics every year? Every year. United States. It should always be in the United States. Why? Because we have everything. We don't need to build something. We have a million venues that they could play in, and that's anywhere. Anywhere they can play. Oh, United States. Oh, let's do it in whatever for Winter Games.
Lake Placid,
wherever. I mean, you could put it anywhere. In Canada, you could play games in Canada. It could be a joint venture thing. It's like when they gave World Cup soccer to Qatar or whatever the hell they did. When they gave the World Cup to, what was the one with the Vuvuzelas?
South Africa.
I mean, please. I mean,
the Vuvuzelas were awesome.
No, they were awful.
I loved them.
They were awful.
I loved them. Different times, different generations.
Yeah, I guess.
But I'll just say, for player safety and people safety, if it's coming down to crunch time for that stadium to be built, who knows if it's structurally sound?
Who's going to say no? Then you have to have everybody say, no, we're not going to play there. Because that's it.
If the players decide to do that, I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to have a team.
But who's going to say no? Who's going to say no?
You don't think that players would back out of playing?
Who's going to say no? That's why I said, who's going to say no?
I don't know. I feel like somebody's apparently Daily Faceoff also posted something that I'll put up here. Give me 2 seconds. Bill Daly said, if the rink is not completed, no NHLers are going to the Olympics.
Okay.
So,
well, there's your guy. Who's going to say no? There it is. Bill Daly said no. Gary Bettman, I guess. Well, I don't know if he'd say no. As long as he's getting money in his pocket, he's probably not going to say no. But Bill Daly, they'll throw him out there. Like I said, who's going to say no? Because that's devastating, honestly, for what would it mean going forward for the NHL and the Olympics going forward? NHL is going to say, nope, you're not playing in that tournament anymore. That's what they'll wind up saying. If they go through all this rigmarole and something happens where they don't play this year, because the NHL adjusted their schedule with condensed schedule all year long, so everyone's out for 2 weeks. That's what they did. And if they're not going to do that again, they didn't want to send the players to the Olympics as it was. Players wanted to go. Players all wanted to go. League didn't want them to go. It upsets the league. It's much easier for them, particularly with the monkeys they got setting up the schedules there, where they just do the same thing as last year. It's not like they're brain surgeons up there in Park Place. Just they're not. So that's a real struggle for them, having to condemn. Oh, what are we going to do?
I'm just saying the last thing you want to see happen is, we hosted a game here. The stadium collapsed and killed multiple people because it wasn't ready.
Okay, if a stadium collapses, do they not? All right, its stadium's not going to collapse. Okay.
You don't think? Okay, they don't. They just put the roof on it.
Okay.
You don't
It
think
has
that
to
you
pass
think
some
that's
type of it has to pass some type of inspection service, does it not? Or maybe that's
they
you know
just
what?
put the roof on it.
Okay.
They didn't even have the roof on it 2 months ago.
Okay, but they have the roof on it now. What I'm saying is there has to be an inspection, some type of inspection done, right? I mean, if not, that's why you don't hold the Olympics at where's it going to be this year?
It's in Europe.
Well, sorry, Europe,
I think it's in multiple European countries. Like some of it's in France. I think Italy is another portion. I don't know where else.
Where's the hockey rink going to be?
They just said Italy. It's in Milan.
Italy. Well, Italy, sorry. I mean, do they not have inspectors in Italy? That's why everything should be held in the United States. Everything. Because guess what? Our stadiums, they're not collapsing. We don't have to worry about the stadiums collapsing. When they put a roof on, it doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
I mean, stop giving these rinky-dink areas the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a concern. Not even concern for people's safety.
And yes, I just slammed all of Europe right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying I have concern for people's safety when it comes to that. Not even just players. I mean, obviously players, but even people who are just going there to spectate it. Heaven forbid something happens and that stadium falls apart.
Okay.
Kill everybody in there.
I just think it's maybe overblown a little bit. I just think it is. There's still a ways to go. It's not like we're having the tournament in 2 weeks and they're just putting a roof on. The roof's
Also, I know you haven't seen this, but some of those stadiums over there are pretty interesting. They're not structurally sound.
Well, thanks for proving my point. That's why I don't get the
I'll say that. Like some of the, especially, I don't know about the newer ones. Some of the older ones, like there's just videos of like people out there, and I'm relaying this to soccer, jumping up and down and chanting, and you can literally see the entire stands shaking and shifting. It should not be happening.
Well, they're supposed to be built like that.
I mean, they're like breaking apart.
Okay. Well, whatever.
So I
don't care. I don't live over there. You ask me why I'm not interested in going to Europe. There you go. There's another reason why I have no interest in going to Europe.
God, you don't have to go to the stadium, Grump.
Isn't that why you're going to go to the stadium?
That's usually why I go to the stadium. But I went to the state. I went to the state of the art stadium when I went.
I don't want to have to go somewhere and worry about if I'm going to come out dead or not.
Well, then don't go to the Winter Olympics this year in Milan.
I'm not going.
All right.
Okay. Brian Cooper says, Grumpy and Sun X, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Brian. Thomas Antonetti says, good evening, gents. So since last week, has your outlook on the team changed in any way? Do you see this team as a fringe playoff team or a team that will be on the outside looking in? I feel that if you're talking about a fringe playoff team, 10% chance of making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make playoffs. I don't think the Islanders are not a team that can, they have 2 injuries, which are out for the season. Palmieri's been okay this year. His loss is certainly going to be felt more than Romanov, who's a disaster. But still, you have no depth in the organization. So that gets tested every time. They haven't had a whole bunch of injuries. They just had 2. So I know J.G. Pajot was out right now. They're a team that's scuffling. I think earlier I said 10% chance of making the playoffs. I'll stay with that. I mean, it could go lower, it could go a little bit higher, but I don't see them. I think at the end of the day, I don't think the Islanders making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think if we do, we're squeaking in.
The good guy wins, says they lost to St. Louis too. Got to win that game. Yeah. One of the worst teams in the league.
Yep.
Stephen V says, what he's asking, Grump, is would you prefer if we won the Flyers game and lost to Tampa? I think it's more exciting and heartbreaking this way. I'd much rather beat the Flyers and lose to Tampa. I hate the Flyers. So I'd rather lose to the Rangers and beat the Flyers.
Grumpy has a personal vendetta
against
the Flyers.
Yeah, that's well documented.
He has a personal vendetta against.
That's the one. And as you get older, you don't have hatreds for teams. I still hate the Flyers.
You still do.
Thomas Anthony says this team simply can't score at home. Too many games have passed now where they're offensively inept. What do you both attribute that to?
Guys cooling off.
I just think that's what I think. Guys cooling off. The Rangers were like that early in the year too. Couldn't score a goal at home. Well, they turn it around now.
But we're playing lights out away, which is honestly insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's nuts to think of it like that. Usually it's always the opposite way.
The Islanders last night came back against Dallas of all teams.
Yeah.
Took the early lead, go down 2-1, wound up tying it, winning an overtime. I mean, 3 weeks ago, would that have happened? No. And you go through ebbs and flows in the season.
Highs and lows.
The Islanders are not going to score 1 or 2 goals every game the rest of the year. They're not. They're going to pick it up at some points. They're going through a tough patch right now. That's all. Owls Hockey 48 says, "Good evening, gentlemen. I just want to say I enjoy listening to your podcast. That's a very nice comment. Thank you, Owls Hockey."
Thank you.
Stephen V says, "My brother and I were talking about the same thing. Points need to be awarded differently. We both think 3 points for regulation week, 2 points for OT win, 1 point each if they tie after OT." I could even go with that, honestly. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I kind of like it better regulation win. Make it mean more to win in regulation.
Yeah, award more points for regulation win. Yeah, exactly.
I think it would make games more exciting at the end because you can tell if there's like a minute to go. If there's like a minute and a half to go,
people
and
just hang around.
The players are just happy going to overtime and getting the loser point. They're very happy playing that way, and so are coaching staffs. They have no problem with that. Hey, we're going to get at least a point. So it makes for less exciting games down the stretch. If you say 3 points for a win, and then you have to win in overtime to get a point, or you get nothing, you'll see more elevated play at the end of games. That's just me. Next comment, please. Frank from Empire State says, "Hey, Grumpstermania and X Factor. Hi, all. Hey, Frank.
What's up?
Stephen V says, "Son X, congratulations on growing into this role. You've learned much, young one."
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're getting better.
Yep.
Mark Alberti says the Islands will beat the Avs. Write it down. I don't think they're beating the Avs.
I mean, it would honestly, again, would you be surprised though? It would be another game that we go in not expected to win and could win.
Would it surprise me if they won? I just think Colorado's a different animal right now.
I think Colorado's really, really good.
They're really good. Really good.
Would it surprise me if we lost? Absolutely not, though.
Yeah. But that's the type of game the Islanders would win. If you ask me,
W. Yeah, exactly.
If you asked me, would they beat one of Tampa or Colorado? I said, yeah, probably one of the two. They got it on the first end, and they didn't deserve that win. It's a Sorokin win. Stephen V says, "I think Montreal is going to hang around. They're a talented young team on the upswing. They get up for road games and have stayed healthy." Now that's a team where because they're loaded with prospects. That's a team where, you know what? Let's roll the dice. Try to bring some veteran in at the deadline for a first round pick or something.
And they're a team that's going to get better as they continue to play.
Yeah, because they're a very young team.
Yep.
Frank from Empire State says Horvat had 16 goals in the last 2 games. He has 16 goals, 2 in the last 2 games. He's still on fire. Is he? Okay.
I don't know. He was playing lights out earlier on in the year.
Yes.
I mean, lights out.
Mark Alberti says the Islanders look fast. Okay. John Falcone says Bo and Barzy are driving the offense right now, and the additions of Shabanov and Ritchie have been solid. This team has a 70% chance of making the playoffs. I'm going to disagree with that one, John. I'm sorry. I don't see that. You're forgetting the other teams behind that who are established and who are going to make runs that are only 6 points out. As bad as they played, 6 points out is Florida. 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion. Okay. Toronto, 4 points out. I mean, those teams have been in the playoffs how many years in a row? Stephen V says, Horvat is my dog. All right. Go. Freedom Fund Venture says, who do we blame for TJ turning out the way he did? The warden? Yes, let's blame the warden.
Okay, hold on. Full stop. I remember when I said something that was not so pleasant about the warden. Grumpy, you gave me trash about that. I'm going to clip this.
I didn't say anything
about
this
the warden. You said, yeah, let's blame the warden.
Well, yeah, for how TJ turned out the way he did, sure. John Falcone says they literally just beat one of the hottest teams at home, came off a great road trip. Okay. They didn't deserve any points on that road trip. Well, in the last 4, I'm not going to include the Detroit game. They absolutely did. But the West Coast wing, they didn't deserve any points and got 6. That's those just facts. You got the kick and goal on one, the wiping the goal off against Dallas, the overtime win against
Interference.
Vegas.
You're talking about the interference goal, right? The goal interference
that was against
goal.
Dallas,
Yeah.
and the game against Vegas where they deserve to be in that stadium. If that stadium would have collapsed, that would have been good news for the Islanders. Honestly, I thought the only way they could have got points. Stephen V says, "I blame the parents. TJ is a failed experiment of parental selective breeding." Wow, man, that's bold right there. The good guy wins says that the Islanders are 8th seed or barely outside the playoff berth come the trade deadline. Do they sell some assets like Lee or JG Pajot? They should sell them regardless of where they end.
Agreed.
Regardless. I don't care if they're 7th, 8th, 6th. I don't care. It's not about this year for that team.
Would you try and shoot for draft picks coming up in this year's draft coming up or future drafts?
This year, next year, hey, the more shot kicks at the can you have, the better chance you have to improve your team.
I was just saying I know we've previously mentioned this, that this draft coming up is very deep.
Right.
I would say, would you prefer them shoot for picks for this year's draft as opposed to future drafts?
They have 2. I'd like to come away with 3 and maybe then go for years further.
Okay.
I mean,
I just wanted to see what your opinion was on that.
Look at what Utah, formerly Arizona, did. That's exactly what they did. Took on assets, getting first, and they still have plenty of draft picks coming in to that organization. That's how you do it. How are you able to acquire a guy like Sergachev, right? And talk about Tampa Bay. They let go of Mikhail Sergachev, young defenseman. They got rid because they couldn't because of cap reasons. Well, you know what? It hasn't seemed to hurt them too bad. And he's a good defenseman, really good. Jonathan Drouin, was traded for Mikhail Sergachev way back from Montreal. Think about that. Who's been the better player? You tell me. John Falcone says, Bobrovsky is 37 years old now at the end of his career. He won't steal games for them anymore. But what have they done? They brought in the kid Tarasov from Columbus, who's actually looked pretty good for them.
Made an update.
I mean, this is Bobrovsky's last year under contract. Did they try to bring him back? It's last year of his 10-year, $10 million a year contract. Who can believe it's been 10 years? But you know what? Maybe they bring him back on a short-term deal. If he wants to go somewhere else, let someone else pay him. That's what you're going to see, right? They're not going to give him a big, long extension. That's for certain. That's why they plan for this. Teams plan for this. The Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey, who was the general manager, always said, you know what? I'd rather get rid of a guy a year too early than a year too late. What he means by that is you get maximum value a guy still performing when you know it's going to be a depreciating asset going forward. So what do you see good teams in the league? What do? They'll look at the future. Okay, we have a guy who's 35. Yeah, he's still performing really well, but you know what? He's 35. Let's plan for bringing in his backup. The New England Patriots tried to do that when they brought in Jimmy Garoppolo to replace Tom Brady. The mistake they made is it was with Tom Brady, and he outlasted Garoppolo and in essence Belichick.
Yeah.
Do we have anybody? Schaefer's the only guy we have on teams like that. Of course, he's 18. We don't have to worry about that now. But Father Time is undefeated pretty much, right?
Yep.
I mean, you just have to be smart. The Tarasov guy looked really, really good for Florida when I saw him play. So maybe that's their transition plan for Bobrovsky. Who knows? Stephen V says, definitely the Islanders should sell Pajot, no matter if they make the playoffs or not. It's the right thing to do. They are improving, but they aren't done yet. Yeah, Islanders got a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he also adds Pajot will bring in a pretty decent haul. Okay, we hope so. He's got to get back playing.
Yes, absolutely. Needs to get healthy and then needs to bounce back and perform. That's the big thing. When he comes back, he needs to perform.
Yep.
Because if he's underperforming when he comes back, teams won't be looking at him. You won't get as much value. You need him to bounce back and really light it up.
True. John Falcone says totally wrong with their.
I don't know. It was one that I started a while ago. So
Freedom Fundamental says, God bless you, Son X. The difference between this year's team and the previous years is they're fun to watch and we have hope. The similarities are they're soft and have limitations. Oh boy.
Yeah, no, honestly, they are fun to watch. And my thing is, the thing that I continually run into is I have to think big. And I told Grumpy this, like, I have to think big picture. But I mean, when they perform well and do well, I cheer. I absolutely cheer for them. But I'm thinking at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, no, we don't need this. We don't need this. You know,
Very true.
think big picture.
Stephen V says, Sunex, what Grumpy didn't mention is that D'Angelo was a locker room cancer for years. That's why he was out of the league. He's much more agreeable now and was a good pickup for the money. And that's fair. I agree with that. I'm just saying he's a guy who they signed for a 1-year deal. No one wanted him even after last year. You figure,
but that's what I was saying, though, is the only guys that you're going to find that are younger that teams are willing to get rid of are guys who are not compatible with the rest of the team. They're guys that they're just like, okay, they're not a fit here. Move on from them. Better without than with.
Right.
As we say, addition by subtraction.
And D'Angelo is in his 30s now. So he's a guy, like I said, you're probably not going to have to give up a whole lot for him. But his value is down not because of anything he has done or hasn't done. He's still the same guy. But the fact is, he was supposed to be on Power Play 1 this year, which would have elevated his stock come trade deadline.
His stats would have been better.
Right.
Yep.
Not anymore. He's Power Play 2. Matthew Schaefer gets all the time, which depresses his value.
But at the same point in time, we're happy with that. I think that's a positive.
Yeah, long term, absolutely is a positive. Yeah. Freedom Fund Event says Vancouver contracts have no move clauses. They are screwed. Yeah, unless they want to leave. That's true. Yep. JP says this season Darsh should really sell everyone he can get for the right price. Lee, Pajot, Horvat, Barzell, Holmstrom, Drouin, D'Angelo, Sorokin. Okay. You can't get rid of everybody. Lee and Pajot absolutely need to go. Why? They're on expiring deals. Horvat, if you could get
the right offer, yes.
He's just performing so well right now. You still got to put fannies in seats, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm saying by deadline, though. By deadline, if you get the right offer for him, you don't take it.
Okay, so what type of offer would you take to move Bo Horvat?
Top 11 pick, top 10 pick.
Okay, he's worth more than one first round pick. I mean, you're not seeing Bo Horvat's not going anywhere. I don't think Matt Barzal is going anywhere. Again, salary cap has gone up, but those guys make a lot of money going forward. Simon Holmstrom, no trade value right now. Jonathan Drouin, if somebody offered me the right deal, I'd move Jonathan Drouin. Sure. He's not part of the future for certain. Tony D'Angelo, again. Ilya Sorokin. I mean, unless you have somebody who's ready to step in as his replacement, you're not moving him. He's still way too valuable to the team. I mean,
don't they have that 6'7" goalie?
Well, they have a Russian goalie that was supposed, but he's not ready yet. So what are you going to ride with David Rittich and who knows backup Z going forward for the next couple of years? You want your team to bottom out. That's the way to do it. I'm not getting rid of Sorokin. D'Angelo, Drouin, Lee, and Pajot. And I would even, if you can get some type of big return for a Pulak or a Pelech, I would absolutely do that. But it's got to be big return, not just giving guys away to give them away. You can't get rid of everybody.
You get the right value for them.
Right. You can't, and you can ask for a little bit more. Guy like Pelech on the open market with his contract and how many years he's got left, he's worth a lot. There's no way he should get to be on the island by the end of his contract because he's not been hurt this year. The last number of years he's been injury prone. So whatever you can get for him, and he's had a bounce back year this year, that's a guy you can get a lot for. Maybe a couple of first round picks for him. Who knows? Maybe a young player and a first round pick and a second. Those are the type of deals you have to consider. JP says, let's get started. Let's get the future started already. Yeah, that's fair. Frank from Empire State says, Horvat and Barzell are the future now. You can't trade everybody, bro. Yeah, I agree with that. Can't trade everybody. JP says, bottom line is all those players I mentioned are gone by the time Islanders can legit win a cup. Not Barzell.
Or they're right there. They might have 1, maybe 2 years left before they're washed.
Yeah. The problem with moving those guys is you have no one in your system
that
who
can
can
replace
step in
them.
and replace them. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
That's the problem. You're taking these guys. Look, have they replaced Noah Dobson? Nope. Did they replace Brock Nelson? Nope. They haven't replaced anybody that they've moved in the last couple of years or lost because Lou Lamoriello decimated the farm system. Just did. That's what hurts. Frank from Empire State says you trade Lee, Pajot, Mayfield, Pulak, D'Angelo, and you'll get a haul. They're not going to move 5 guys. They're not going to, and certainly they're not going to move 3 of their top 6 defensemen at one time. No one is trading for JP says no one is trading for Mayfield, Pellick, or Pulak with those contracts. I disagree when it comes to Pellick. I think Pellick can still get you good value. And Sorokin has a full no trade, says Satan's Child.
So he can get moved.
Yeah.
Did you read this one? Sorry.
Yep, already read that one. Frank from Empire State says that's not true, JP. We are already turned it around. Another year or two, if done right, we can contend and continue building at the same time. We're already turned. Okay. Here's where I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think the Islanders have turned it around right now. They have one player, but it's basically the same team they've had the last number of years. You look at a team like Anaheim. You could say Anaheim has turned it around with how they played this year. What was the problem with Anaheim the last couple of years? Couldn't score goals. All their young guys have now developed, and they've all starting to produce. Cutter Gauthier, right? Leo Carlson. These guys have all, Troy Terry, these guys have all upped their game, and now they're 22, 23 years old, 21 years old, and they're lighting the lamp. They're second, I think they've scored the second most goals in the league after Colorado this year. And they got the coach in Joel Quenneville. They've turned it around. You can look at them and say, you're not going to say, man, they're a fluke. I'm not saying that with them. Not with Quenneville there. People forget Quenneville was the reason Florida was so good.
I think we look better than what we actually are due to Schaefer, though. I think he covered. I mean, he single-handedly has been winning us some games. He absolutely has.
The plays he makes that would end up in the back of our net.
Yep.
Or
goals that he's scoring.
He puts the puck on the net all the time.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times he's able to keep the puck in the offensive zone on the power play in particular, where that would have been down the other end of the rink. We have to restart over. He's so good at his hockey sense is incredible to go along with his speed. He just makes plays on pucks that we've never had guys who make plays on pucks like that. Sorry. Frank from Empire State says,
he covers up some of the mistakes of the team. Absolutely.
Yep. Frank from Empire State says, yes, they are. For playoff runs, those guys can get you draft picks. Talking about the Rafter guys.
Yeah.
Steve VC, Carolina isn't really that talented. They refuse to pay big ticket players and have average goaltending, but they're balanced and deep. They're talented. They're talented. You're selling them short if you don't think they're talented. I agree with you when it comes to goaltending. And they made a big offer to Rant, and he just didn't want to play there. They did the same thing with Gensel. They tried to lowball Gensel, which was a mistake.
Why do you think players don't want to play there?
It's not a hockey. North Carolina is not a Raleigh, North Carolina.
It's not a hockey. It's not a hockey city.
It's not a hockey city, and it's not like Florida. Where you could, 5 minutes you're at the beach.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah, right. And they're not. Yeah, Carolina's not a big market team. I agree with that.
They're not a big market team.
I mean, I don't know. My thing is, if you're getting paid and your team, I guess I have a different mindset than other people. I guess
guys who sign there stay there forever, though.
With Carolina,
yeah. I mean, it's a great place to raise a family. It absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my mindset is a little bit different than an NHL athlete, where I'm like, if I'm getting paid, my team's winning and playing well. I mean, why not? Making the playoffs every year.
Got to win sometime, though.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe that's the reason why is they just feel that they can't get over the hump. A lot of the players
they
feel
do
like
need a better goaltender now.
Yes.
Kenny says the Islanders are building. Future looks bright.
Yep.
Good positive outlook. Frank says we may have to eat some salary, but worth it. Pellick has played good lately. Pulak too. Pulak's playing well. Was he playing with Schaefer? It's the Noah Dobson effect with Romanov. Pulak has not been the same guy the last couple of years. All of a sudden, he starts playing with Matthew Schaefer. Man, he looks like he's a great defenseman again. It's because of his partner. JP says, Frank, we're a long way away from contending for real. Look at Colorado, look at Dallas, look at Florida last year. The Islanders are nowhere near those teams. That's true. They're not close to being a contender.
A cup contender, no. I agree. I agree 100%.
Eve again says, do any of these right-handed defensemen look okay to acquire? Crevier, Kreese, Jirick, Thompson, Malieu for the Blues. See, well, that's why I wanted Reinbacher. I think you're going to look through the draft to acquire right shot defenseman. You can always get a right shot defenseman who's serviceable. You don't want to overpay for them. Or if you have too many left shot defensemen, which we have on this team, you can have somebody play on the offside. You can. That's why you have to be leery about. That's why I wanted, when you moved Noah Dobson, it really weakened you on the right side defensively. That's why I wanted Reinbacher. I mean, Henneman's been fine coming in for them this year, but long-term, Reinbacher made more sense to me, bringing him in to get an only right shot defenseman in their prospect group. The Islanders do not have a right shot defenseman, not one, in the prospect group. That's a problem going forward.
Let me ask you a question, Grumpy. In the upcoming draft, do you think that the Islanders should draft based off positional need or based on best player available?
Best player.
I agree.
Particularly in hockey.
Yeah.
Particularly in hockey because the kids are so far away.
Yeah.
Okay. Matthew Schaefer does not come around every year.
No, I 100% agree. Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini does not come around every year. Connor Bedard does not come around every year. I know I've just mentioned three guys who've been the three top number one picks the last 3 years. But this is Bedard's first year where he's been really, really good.
Yeah.
Celebrini was good last year, and he's good this year. And Schaefer's been off the charts good.
And McDavid's been,
right. But you're talking about the number one overall pick. Chances of you getting the number one overall pick next year slim, right? Let's be honest.
It's going to Pittsburgh. I already told you.
That's what we've been hearing. Frank says, true, but that's the three best teams. We can compete. We beat Dallas. We beat Tampa. We beat Vegas. And our team just started the retail. We have a top 10 prospect pool dead last year. We improved. Okay.
Maybe rebuild.
Yeah. Okay. Just because we drafted all those guys, they're not all going to pan out. I keep telling everyone that. If you're hitting on 1 out of 3 in the first round, you're doing well. We've hit a 1 out of 3. We got to hope we hit on one of the other 2 in Eklund and Aitchison. Not everyone pans out. It's really hard because these kids aren't 20, 21, 22 years old. They're 18, 19. They're young. Frank from Empire State says, grumpy old man, Pony and I proved you wrong about Henneman. Take it like a man. Okay. Let's wait till the end of the season. Wait till the end of the season. That's all I'm going to say. Wait till the end of the season. And you make it sound like I'm bagging on Henneman. I'm just saying he's not a first line player.
You just say he slithers around when he's out there.
He's like Neil. Yeah. Frank from Empire State says Lee is skating better than ever for what it's worth. You know what he's not doing, though? Scoring goals. Stephen V says he's playing well. As an excellent leader, I think any team would make space for him. I think he's a guy who would be valuable in the playoffs, playing on a power play because of his willingness to stand in front of the net and deflect pucks and absorb punishment. Absolutely. I think a team, who could he benefit? Could he benefit a team like Carolina? He could. Could he benefit a team like, I don't think Colorado really needs him. Dallas? Yep. Team like Dallas. Could he benefit a team like Tampa? Not as much. I mean, he'd be a benefit, but they got guys who stand in front of that. You look at teams who most of their game is on the perimeter. Washington? They got Wilson. Really don't need him. Team like the Devils? Yeah, he'd help the Devils. Absolutely, he'd help the Devils. Let's see. I think he should absolutely be moved, though. Freedom Fund Adventure says Henneman is also 1 billion times more valuable than Dobson on defense, and he isn't soft like Dobson. Islanders versus Montreal in the playoffs, and Dobson is more valuable. Oh my God, stop. Eklund, Aitchison, and Emil will destroy. All right, put down the bong. Put down the pipe. Come on, stop. Stephen V says, I'm not saying we should keep Lee. We shouldn't. But he goes away. We lose something and need to replace it. He's 36 years old. He's 36 years old. What? See you later. Steve B says, I wanted to love Dobson, but I'm so glad we traded him. Beautiful move. When he didn't want to, I was a Dobson fan.
When he didn't want to, yeah.
Absolutely. Dobson
didn't want to be here.
This team would be better today with Noah Dobson.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He'd be better. This team would be better off defensively with Noah Dobson. I don't care what anybody says.
He didn't want to be here.
When he didn't want to be here and they couldn't reach a contract price, had to move him. No problem with it. The last thing you want is a guy going into the last year of his deal and walking for free, a la John Tavares.
That's what I was going to say. You don't want to Tavares 2.0.
A la Franz Nielsen. Just name it. You have to move those guys.
Yep.
You absolutely have to move them. And it's worked out well for both teams. He's been really good for Montreal, and he's on the shutdown pair with Mike Matheson, by the way. So he's doing a good job there. So, I mean, to me, it's a win-win deal, particularly if either one of those draft picks work out.
Yep.
But right now, Dobson's the best player in that deal. Montreal got the best player, but that's what, when you're moving the best player, you got to make sure you get assets. I would have much rather had David Reinbacher. You could, as good as Emil Henneman has showed so far, he's got 10 goals in 20 some odd games. At the end of the day, he's going to settle back to what he is, which is a bottom six player. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying he sucks. He's got okay straight line speed. I mean, he's an aggressive forechecker. He's got a pretty good shot. Those guys play in this league, no doubt about it. He's not a first-line player, though. Stephen V says, I definitely do not want Schaefer playing in the Olympics. Oh, okay. I disagree on that one. Frank says, I wouldn't let Schaefer play in the Olympics. He's too skinny. Big physical guys were getting hurt last year. Yeah, he kind of avoids that physical punishment. And the games are played differently.
Will the punishment avoid him, though? That's the question.
But the games are played differently in the Olympics. This is not the NHL.
There's more fighting.
No, there's not. There's no fighting in the Olympics.
Four nations would disprove that.
What?
The four nations would disprove
that. Wasn't the Olympics.
Okay.
The Olympics is the Olympics.
There's going to be fighting.
Way less physical contact tolerated in the Olympics. It's a different game.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Steve V says, I don't know why Grumpy said he doesn't care about getting hurt. It's a real possibility. He's our best player by far. Well, but you run the risk of getting hurt every time you go out on the ice.
Which, yeah, I do agree with that. At the same point in time, I agree with you where he is going to learn a lot from being around better players. I do agree with you with that. But at the same point in time, there is always that fear factor of more games leads to more possibility of injury, which I do agree with too.
If you're a pessimist, you think he's going to get hurt. If you're an optimist like me, always see the bright, always see, the sunny side of the street. That's me, X, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right? No, it's not.
When you see that, I just say he's not going to get hurt.
Okay. All right. You should think the Islanders win the cup this year.
Read this one, X.
And Empire here says Schaefer doesn't take hits from big guys too good. He goes down hard. He needs much more muscle.
Okay, who's he playing against? Sweden, Finland. Come on.
I mean,
Germany, Bulgaria. Who the hell is he playing against?
Could be against the USA.
Okay, if they play the USA, it's going to be in the finals, right?
Is Russia in this?
I don't know if they banned Russia from playing in the Olympics.
That was my big question. If Russia's going to be in here or not?
Stupid. I don't believe in that. Frank from Empire State says yes, and X is just agreeing. X, how can you say if Schaefer gets hurt and misses the year next year that it's not that big a deal in case they're rebuilding? You're getting TJ-ish. Okay, what?
I'm saying that if
what makes you think he's getting hurt?
I'm saying if he did get hurt and had to miss next year, it would not be as pivotal if he got hurt during a year where we can make a cup run.
Okay, he's not getting hurt. He just stop. He's not going to get hurt. Stephen V says, That Olympic Stadium is flawed. If everything goes fine, that's one thing. But if someone gets hurt, especially Schaefer, we will regret him playing. Okay.
That's true.
Okay. Okay. So we shouldn't play him in regular season games either. Just put him under glass and just have him skate around in circles.
I think we should just wrap him up in bubble wrap.
Put him in bubble wrap. Put him out there. Would you be talking about my mama? Frank from Empire State says exactly freedom. These two must have had some contaminated turkey that affected their brains. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Stephen V says it's ridiculous to say who cares if he gets hurt during the formative years. Did you say that, X? Who cares if he gets hurt?
No, I didn't say who cares if he gets hurt. I said it wouldn't be as bad if he got hurt now as
He's
opposed
not going
to
to get hurt. He's not going to get hurt.
Okay, you never say never.
Okay,
right? Never say never.
I'm saying he's not getting hurt in this tournament.
I'm just saying it's the same reason why you see it a lot with, but it's a little bit different situation with college athletes, especially in football. If they make a bowl game and it's before the upcoming draft, none of them play in it if it's not for a national championship. It's the same reason there. They don't want to risk getting hurt and their draft stock going down.
Okay. What do you say about kids who sit out when they do that?
I don't care. I think great for them. I have no issue with it at all.
You know, it says more about the kid. It says more about the kid than anything else. I don't want a kid like that on my team.
That's going to sit out because they don't want to get hurt coming up in the most
important
thing
saying?
in their career.
In essence, what are you saying? They don't care about the team. They only care about themselves. That's if I'm looking at it. This guy's is the same talent level as this same guy. They're equal, very equal on the board. And you got one guy who doesn't want to play for his team in a championship game because doesn't want to risk getting hurt, and the other kid does and balls out. That kid is the one I look at. Matthew Schaefer is not a kid who's going to say, I don't want to play in the Olympics. He's not one of those kids. I'm going to guarantee you that.
I'm just saying you've seen it happen multiple times. Guys play in a bowl game, end up getting hurt, tanks their draft stock. You see it all the time. How many guys
get hurt? How many guys get hurt in the bowl game?
The running back from Clemson got hurt in their bowl game. His draft stock tanked towards ACL. Who is it? He plays for the Eagles now. He's like the second string running back or the third string running back for the Eagles. Yes, Shipley got hurt. Shipley got hurt. He absolutely did. Look it up. He got hurt in his bowl game. He got hurt in his bowl game. He got hurt in his bowl game.
And he still was a second round pick.
He hurt his knee in that bowl game.
Yeah, it's horse shit. You know what?
It's not horse shit. He did everything for that team.
Yeah, it's
punt returner, kick returner, starting running back.
Yeah, no, sorry, no.
Okay. No. I'm just saying he absolutely got hurt in the last bowl game of the year, and people were saying, well, you should have sat out, and ended up tanking his draft stock.
Frank from Empire State says, hit the thumbs up, fellas. Get more peeps on the pod now. Very true.
Thumbs up.
Please help us out. Goon says, is Holmstrom an expert back checker? Is Dog Z slightly under the weather?
Dog Z was actually under the weather for a little bit, but he's feeling better now.
Oh, my goodness.
Feeling better now, yeah.
Poor little puppy dog.
Yeah, he's doing good
Holmstrom,
now.
I mean, think about it, right? I was bagging on Holmstrom for a number of years because he was dog shit. He comes up. He looks like he could be something. Now what's he settled into? Right? What I always said he was going to be. Bottom six guy. That's what he is. Not scoring. I don't think he scored no points in 10 games. Impressive. Most impressive. Impressive. Most impressive. He is what he is. I mean, and I think he's battled. The biggest mistake I made about Holmstrom is saying that I grudgingly liked what he's done, because then he went right back in the tank and proved me right from the beginning. I said never, ever, ever.
He probably listened to the show and he started reading his press clippings.
Oh man,
that's what happened.
Grumpy old man has turned around. I can take off now. I can go back to being one of those Swedish slugs. Yep, that's what he did.
Oh God.
Nothing. Goodwin says, my two favorite Americans, it must be me and you, X. If the Islanders squeak in the playoffs and manage to finally beat the Canes, was the season a success? Son X, can you help me place my bets? I would say no to that one. X plays one bet and he lost, but it was actually a win for him.
Yeah, I will say, don't trust me on bets. Yeah, it ended up good for me. I got the outcome I wanted. Let's just say I paid for the outcome that I wanted.
There you go.
And I'd do it again.
And the Islanders not beating the Canes.
Yeah, I can't see that as happening.
Steven says, I agree, son. There's no way I want anything to do with the rushed arena. Clearly, there are cost-cutting shenanigans.
I'm just saying the fact that it's getting thrown up really, really quickly at the end is concerning. That's very concerning. what boxes aren't getting checked.
Okay, but when is the stadium supposed to be completed by?
I can look it up.
I mean, they say it's behind schedule. I don't know how long it takes to build a stadium. They got the roof on already. If it's all the interior stuff, just hire some more guys. Put in some extra chairs. I don't know what they do. I mean, it is what it is, right? Matthew Sklarov says there are 2 arenas for hockey there, but it creates scheduling issues if only one is usable. Okay, that's fair. I'll agree with that. It doesn't matter, X. We're past that.
Okay.
Gungun says, I already read that one. Gungun says, why isn't Stan Fischler in the Hockey Hall of Fame? Has Antonio Brown gone insane? I'll touch the first one first. Do they put in writers or media members in the Hockey Hall of Fame? I don't know. I mean, if there's some type of, I don't know if there's a broadcasting wing or anything like that.
I feel like they would fall under a broadcasting Hall of Fame more so than for a specific sport.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, certainly he's been around long enough. I mean, Buck Leonard got put into the Hall of Fame just because he did all the interviews on the Negro League in Major League Baseball. I think he was just an average ball player, but eventually they put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Whenever you wanted something on the Negro League, Buck Leonard.
He played, right, though? He played?
He did play in the Negro League, but I mean, it's not like he was Satchel Paige or Josh Gibson or, Papa Bell or any of these guys. He was Buck Leonard. He just lived longer than these guys, and he remembered, and he always, whenever they had something on Negroes, there comes. How do you know Buck Leonard's gonna be on? Oh, they're talking about the Negro Leagues. Oh, okay. And he eventually got it. Has Antonio Brown gone insane?
I think he's been going to jail.
Well, he's in jail now, isn't he?
I don't know if he had bail or not.
Okay. I mean, has he gone? I don't know if he's gone insane, but I
think CTE has absolutely changed his brain chemistry for certain. He has not been the same person after that Vontaze Perfect hit.
I'll say you're right, but I'll also say it's fair to say he's got issues.
Yes.
Frank from Empire State says, we need Phil's facts. I want to see him interact with the fellas. Phil's too scared to come on here. Here's the thing about Phil. When we were winning games, we hear from him all the time. When they lose a couple of games, he's like,
radio silence.
Radio silent. Yep. And then they win a game, all of a sudden he's chirping again. TJ shut him down last night, though.
Oh, my God.
Gungun says, Sonex, let's test your muscle memory. Who was the first ever captain of the New York Islanders?
Oh, God.
He doesn't know. It's Eddie Westfall.
Eddie Westfall. I was just about to say that one right before you said it, Grumpy. I was just a little late. I was lagging. That was it. I was lagging behind. I was buffering.
Steve says, it's such a joke about the arena. I'm not a fool. It smells like cost-cutting, corruption, slicing off the top, whatever you want to call it. Don't play Schaefer.
I would not be surprised if there is cost-cutting that's involved. I wouldn't.
I want to see Matthew Schaefer play against the best players with the best players in the world. That's what I want to see. I want to see him on their level. That's what I want to see. Yes, I want him playing big time.
Maybe he can go ahead and do what they do in the NBA, and he can talk to some players and try and get them over.
I absolutely want to see him on the Olympic team and playing. Steve V says, if the stadium was too short, do you really think it has enough bathrooms, fire control, etc.? Inspection. Grumpy, were you born last week? I mean, I don't think anyone really knows what's going on over there. I can't make a judgment on something I know nothing about. I can't.
It says the separate new venue should be done. It says that it's supposed to open for a test event, the Italian Cup final in January 2026, ahead of the Olympic hockey competitions, which begin in February 5th, 2026. So they got a month. They got a month to get this thing done.
They got 2 months. They got 2 months.
I mean, it doesn't specify when in January that is.
Okay, it's 2 months. They got 2 months.
Dude, we're in December. It could be January 1st. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. It's December now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. They ain't got 2 months. I mean, it depends on when in January it is, but I mean,
we want Schaefer. I want Schaefer in there.
They got like a month to get the stadium done, and the fact that this stuff is coming out now is concerning. I'm going to let you know one thing: that stadium will not be up to code lengthwise before the tournament starts, before the Olympics starts. It will not.
I just want him playing. Put him in there. That's even more reason why he should be playing. And the Team Canada should want him out
Yeah.
there.
You wanted a place so we can get freaking Romanov.
You want a guy who can move out there and avoid checks. That's Matthew Schaefer. Peary Rising says, Sun X for future reference when checking Puckopedia, an anchor in the contract line indicates a full no move clause. A partially filled in shield represents a modified no trade. Best wishes for the holidays. Saying stop being slack ass and look at what it says is what you got to do. You're such a freaking novice, X.
I am a novice. I am what they call a noob.
Matthew Scarver says Milan and Cortina is where they're going to hold those tournaments. Okay.
For the
They
hockey.
had the Olympics in Italy, like when Alberto Tomba was like a big star
Is that
skier.
winter? So they had the Winter Olympics. Okay.
So they had it not too, maybe 25 years ago, something like that.
Where was it last year? Or not last year, the last Winter Olympics. I felt like it was in somewhere where there was no snow. And it didn't feel right.
Fiji Islands.
It was not Fiji.
No idea. Don't remember. Isles Hockey says, I agree. Everything should be in the U.S. So do I. They have everything. They don't have
the
to build
infrastructure
anything.
here. I do agree that we absolutely have the infrastructure here. There's no need to build stadiums. And I mean, another thing, multiple people in these countries end up passing away building these stadiums as well.
Frank from Empire State says, grumpy old man, LOL, inspection. Inspectors love tips, LOL. Gugun says, I was watching an old Islanders Never Say Die episode when Greg Prato was on, and he offered to write a book about the grumpy old man. Grumpy, have you signed a book deal? Son X, remember when Ned Beatty had to squeal? X, do you remember when Ned Beatty had to squeal?
Yes, that was in Deliverance.
Deliverance.
Squeal like a pig.
Well, he was like, I mean, if you're going to go on a date, that's not the place to go. And no, I've not signed a book deal as of yet. Jake Kiriako says, you don't trade Emil Henneman. This is a thing on Islanders Twitter now. Okay. If you could trade Emil Henneman and get yourself and a first round pick to get yourself a Tage Thompson, you wouldn't do that? Really? Okay. I would in a nanosecond. There's a reason why he's been traded 3 times already in his young career. 3 times. Frank from Empire State says, UBS is spectacularly built. I can't help but stare at all kinds of means and methods they use to build it.
Yeah, we still need to check out the stadium. Still haven't done that, Grumpy.
I'm
Gotta
aware
make a trip. We gotta make a trip.
Jake Kiriakos once again adds, our defenses look better without Romanoff. There's a shocker.
Addition by subtraction.
And I said that as someone who likes Romanoff. I admit he's had a bad year this year. He sucks.
The worst.
And Jake says, why does Grumpy hate the Flyers? I've never heard that before. Yeah, he's smiling. He knows I hate the Flyers. Filthy dogs. I hate them. Going way back to the mid-'70s. That's what. Gungun says, what stinks more to high heaven, the Islanders' foul power play or the inability to score an open empty net? Son X, do you ever miss participating in the game of baseball?
Yeah, sometimes I miss, not playing, but
what about did you like that when you struck out?
What?
When you struck out. Did you strike out more or get more hits?
I don't know.
I think you got more hits than you struck out.
I think I got, in my whole career, I absolutely got more hits than I struck out.
Yeah.
But, or made contact with the ball for certain. Yeah, I'm going to say both are pretty bad, but I'm going to say the open net goals is probably worse.
The Islanders' power play, I think, is still worse than the league. But it looks better.
Yeah.
It looks better. And they don't score an open net, empty net goals. Well, sometimes you hit them, sometimes you don't. Frank says 3 points for win, 2 for OT win, 1 for a tie. I kind of like the 3 for a regulation win and 1 for an OT win. No ties.
No ties. 0 points.
I'll go for that. Gungun says, Son X, are you so engrossed in watching Islander games that you find yourself yelling at the TV set? If you got drafted 7 years ago, would you have reported as a New York Met?
No, yeah, I do. I don't yell, but I get excited when I'm watching the games for sure.
Do you ever yell at the TV when something is on, X?
When there's one player in particular who is on, or yeah, sometimes I do yell at the TV.
What's the thing you complain about the most, would you say, when it comes to sports?
Zebras, man.
The referees.
The Zebras. Honestly, that's what I yell at the most
And
in
this
every
week,
sport.
I won't tell you, on Sunday, after the conference championships are played in college football, I told people on last show I listened to X at least an hour a day, go on and on about argument about team 12 and 13 in the playoff. I expect more of that. I expect more of that this Sunday.
Get ready. Open the ears.
And you would have, if the Mets had signed you, you would have went to play for the Mets, correct?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Isles hockey.
Here's the thing. I'll say the thing about baseball. It's a little different than every sport. If you get drafted out of high school, you take the contract, you take the money, because you can always go back to school. You're not always guaranteed that money.
Very true. Very true. Isles 48 says, is TJ finally feeling excited about the future of the Islanders?
Yes, he is. He has absolutely.
He wishes that he was part of. I tell you,
Yes.
he wishes he was part of the show right now. He absolutely does. And Frank from Empire State says, I want to see this team make the playoffs with this younger core. The organization needs the dollars. Thanks to Shitty Lou, they lost $20 million. This is not good for our teams, guys. Make the dance. Not good for our team, guys. Make the dance. Yeah, no. I'm looking to move guys. I don't care about the today. I care about the tomorrow. Frank from Empire State says, looking at it from a business side, which helps the team overall improve? Wide receivers need the money. Oh, we need the money. Looking at the business side, which helps the team improve. We need the money. I'll just disagree with that. I don't care if we get picked 18. It's not going to be the same as getting picked 10. It's not the same. Next, please. Stephen V says, without the loser point, Vegas, the Kings, and Seattle are all out of playoff spot right now. Loser points are dumb. I agree. I'm done with the loser point. Frank says, Richie is improving, which will make the Pajot deal happen. I think Richie's been kind of underwhelming, honestly. I don't notice him most of the time. There's times he flashes. I would have much rather left him down in the minors, let him play on the power play, let him play on the penalty kill, give him as many minutes as he can handle, and then at the deadline, move him up. He's only playing 10 or 11 minutes a game here. Is it really helping him develop his game? I don't think so. He's not playing on the penalty kill. I mean, occasionally he'll be on the second unit and not on the PK. I want him to be well-rounded. That's what he's advertised as. Give him as much chance to develop. Freedom Front Event says, I picked on TJ taking multiple visits to Charlotte, knowing TJ doesn't do anything out of kindness. I said he was moving home. TJ looked right into the camera and lied. Just like Kiffin. Neither has a dog. Jake says, when I say you don't trade Henneman, it really is meant to say Montreal shouldn't have traded Henneman. Why? Neil Henneman wasn't going to play on that team. He was fourth liner on that team. And a healthy scratch at most time. They're loaded in the forward group. And he was never going to get the opportunities he's gotten here. Never. Matthew DiBernardo says, hey, boys, good to hear Darsh say that he will not be buying to the media this week. Already looking forward to this stack draft. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. 100% agree. Frank says, grumpy old man, we have Drouin, Henneman, Shabanov, Richie, Schaefer, especially. We have improved. Has Drouin been really good? I'm not even including Henneman. Shabanov has been good. He's been good. No, that's a guy I'd worry about getting injured. Jake says, every day I tell my 12-year-old son, Matthew Schaefer is 5 years and 4 months older than you. Pick up the slack, son.
You know what's crazy is like watching, as you get older, watching sports, you're like, you see these kids who are coming up and they're just like great. And you're like, oh my God, these are children.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you look at them, you're like, these are kids and they're doing this. Something I can never even imagine doing. Just makes you think like, dang. You know?
Yes. Jake said, Pellick had such a great game last night. Yeah, he's been good this year. He absolutely has. Freedom Fun Adventure says, Sun X and Grumpy, if you could watch an Islanders game in any arena that isn't UBS, what city would you go to? I saw them play an exhibition game in Jacksonville, many games in Tampa. I would want to go see them play in Toronto. I think it would be fun to go to Toronto or one of the Canadian cities like Toronto or Vancouver, even Montreal. somewhere like that, like a not Madison Square Garden, but like maybe one of the Canadian cities.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I know we've been. I think the only other. I know you've been to more games than me, but I think the only other stadium other than PNC that I've been to was in Washington, the Capitals arena.
That's right. I forgot we went to see the Caps.
Yeah, that's the only other professional stadium that I've been in.
We had good seats for that one, X.
We did. We did. Those were really good seats.
You know, it's great. You go up the last minute, 8 rows from the 8 rows from the ice.
Yep.
Alex Ovechkin blew a kiss to X. It was great.
It was, that. Why do you think I say Ovechkin's great?
Freedom says, Crevier is the guy. Grumpy, you wanted Malio for Dobson too. I told you he was flawed, and that's why Montreal traded him, and he is available again. No, I wanted Reinbacher, not Malio. I wanted Reinbacher was the guy I wanted. Right shot defenseman, Reinbacher. Freedom says, former Gator middle linebacker Carlton Mills would have been drafted high, went to the Senior Bowl and blew out his knee and never had a career. Okay. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. There's always a risk of getting hurt. There just is.
Happens.
Just if you don't want to get hurt, sit and play video games on your couch, right, X?
I'm just saying that's why you see players sitting out of those bowl games that don't mean anything. I mean, who really cares if your team wins the, Little Caesars Bowl?
A lot of guys do the practices at the Senior Bowl in particular, but don't play in the game. That I can understand because it's about the practices there.
Yeah, I understand for the Senior Bowl. I'm talking about for bowl games at the end of the year. If your team is not in contention to win or make the playoffs, I don't see there's a reason why these players should play.
Okay. I just
we won the Little Caesars Bowl. Ooh.
But
we won the TurboTax Bowl.
But if you can show in a game like that, particularly if you're a smaller school and you're playing.
Yeah, if you're a smaller school, if you've played at the University of Georgia and you're projected first, like top 5 pick, why would you risk it?
Okay. Do you elevate your stock by sitting on the bench or by playing?
It was the same thing that Cam Ward did last year, where he played to hit the yardage marker and then sat out and didn't play again. It was the same exact thing he did last year. And guess where he was drafted? Number 1 overall.
And how's Tennessee doing? What's their record? What's their record?
So you think it's Cam Ward? What was the record last year?
What was
their record last year?
What are they, 1-11?
What was their record last year?
Are they 1-11?
What was the record last year?
They're 1-11.
What was the record last year?
Maybe they drafted the wrong guy.
Answer the question. What was the record last year?
They drafted the wrong guy. It was more than 1-11.
Okay, that's it.
It's better than 1-11. I think they had 3-14.
That's it. Not the fact that the team is just terrible. No, it's because they drafted the wrong guy. That's it.
Milo Brownie says, Grump, how would you fix Bridgeport? Yes, we want draft picks, but where would you develop them with such a shitty farm team? Well, that's what I haven't seen any Bridgeport games this year. Have not, truth be told. They did bring in a new coach in Rocky Thompson, so I don't know what he's done there, but I do hope to see some of those games, particularly if they come to Charlotte.
Yes, they will. I think they always come to Charlotte.
Well, we definitely want to go to those games.
Yes, yeah. That stadium, honestly, out of
stadiums,
exactly. I was going to say there is no bad seat in Bojangles Coliseum.
The roof could fall in on that stadium any day, X, wouldn't you say?
It's older for sure.
It's been there since the 70s. Elvis.
It's older. It's older. They do maintenance on that thing, though. They do maintenance.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Freedom Front Adventure goes, remember when that monster, that monster, maybe? TJ said he couldn't think of one nice thing his mother and father or anyone in his family ever did for him. Yeah, well, that's TJ, right?
He's like what is it, Dwight Goodman or Dwight Good from Dodgeball? I'm my own creator. I created myself. He's exactly like
it was White Goodman.
White Goodman. That's it. White Goodman.
Frank says Bridgeport is better. They're 7-10. Didn't they have like 5 wins total last year?
They were brutal last year.
Yeah.
So are you doing better this year?
2022. Yeah, China. You think? Yes. First of all, I don't even think they have inspectors in China.
They had, but I think the thing was it was like gloomy looking, and there was no. I was not a fan of it. It was not like visually appealing. There's something to be said when you're looking at the skiing events. You're looking at like other events, and there's snow all over the place. That
You
to
ever
me
notice-
feels like winter.
You ever notice all those communist countries? It doesn't seem like they have electricity there. I think they want to keep everybody in the dark, so they don't see what's
It's
going
not
on.
that. It's the architecture that they have there.
Xpun said Sochi, Russia, 2014, Pyeongchang in 2018. Okay. All communist areas, right? Freedom says, I still think that one of the Scandinavian countries built their Olympic arena inside a mountain. That was cool. Grumpy hates the Flyers because it's his brother's favorite team. I hated them before he knew shit about hockey. So, no. They were dirty. They're a bunch of dirty punks. That's why I hate them. Frank goes, Grumpy Old Man and X, UBS is one of the best arenas ever built. Your family will love it. So make an effort. We can all call, a.k.a. the audience, go to a game and all meet up. Yeah, I think we do want to do that. Yeah, we absolutely are going to do that. We are.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom Fundamental says, I didn't hear the topic, but I heard Son X talking about striking out. Guess he was talking about his dating life prior to the Oompa Loompa he married. Oh, wow. Wow. He's taking shots at wife Y.
Yeah.
I called her an Oompa Loompa. Oompa, doompa, doopity-doo. Brett Wayner says, Son X, what Islanders player is known for scoring 50 goals in 50 games? Oh, dude, you got to get this one.
Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy, very good. Okay. Frank from Empire State says, yep, I said to my daughter, Shafe just turned 18, you're 19. She can't believe it. She's a big fan. He's making her become a bigger Islander fan. I think that's fair. Freedom says, Grumpy, you wanted Melio and Reinbacher. Tape don't lie, baby. Those were Montreal's two right-handed defensemen. Reinbacher's flawed and often injured too. Darcy knew what he was doing. He got a fourth liner and a couple of first-round draft picks. Yeah, I mean, it was Reinbacher's the guy I won. It was. Matthew Skarov says, Cortina, 2006, Vancouver, 2010. Mr. B says, good to see the show back on podcast format.
I fixed a new landscape this time, so I got it right. I got it right. I learned from my mistakes. But anyway, Grumpy, I think we are at the end of the show. Is there anything you want to say before we hop off?
I want to say I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from Son X and the Grumpy Old Man.
That's right. Yep. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and Thanksgiving. And love the interaction in the comments as always. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy.
My pleasure.